Today's a very special day for the Bay, for the Royal Nacra Yacht Club, for the Hyundai Marine Sports Trust. Ngāti Whare Ōrākei have been instrumental in clearing out the whole bay to make this a recreational reserve here, and really having the 49er Worlds, 49er FX and the Nacra Worlds, which is the penultimate sailing event with 22 Olympians.
You know, been to a lot of opening ceremonies around the world for different world champs and stuff, but to, you know, welcome everyone here and to have the welcome like we did from Ngāti Whare Ōrākei was really cool, and I think, you know, all of the sailors really appreciate it. You can see them all soaking up that sort of energy and stuff.
It was really nice to see like the local culture and everything they had to say and how they welcomed us all here to New Zealand.
Yeah, it was incredible. You know, it's not something we've witnessed in person before. We've obviously seen the haka when we watched the World Cup, you know, rugby and everything. So to witness, you know, the traditional welcome was cool, and it was cool to see that Blair was speaking it as well.
E te atua, te nākue, e ngā mate, haere, haere, haere.
Yeah, it's a real honour for me to do the mihi, the reply back to Ngāti Whare Ōrākei. Yeah, it was really special, so yeah, it's a great start to the week.
I think it was really cool. I thought he did such a good job, and I think he spoke really well on behalf of all the sailors, and the fact that we got all the mention, the New Zealand sailing team and the New Zealand sailors as well that are involved in the event was really pretty cool.
Really looking forward to racing. You know, the last Worlds were over a year ago, and to be here with basically one of the best conditions you've got in the world against some of the best sailors in the world, it doesn't get any better than this.
Day one of the Hyundai 49er, 49er FX and Nacra 17 World Championships didn't get off to the best start, as the wet and windy conditions weren't favourable for sailing. We did, however, manage to get two of the 49er yellow class races in the late afternoon, and it was the French boats that dominated that race, finishing first, third and fourth.
So at the first mark for the 49er Worlds, it's France 1 and 2. As they come up to Mark 3, they'll go round the top mark, then down to the finish. I think we're looking here at number 44 from France. That's Kevin Fisher, Yarvin Jan, as they come round. Bear away set, good pressure on there. There's their last jibe as they go through. So race one winner from France. They take a well-deserved victory.
The conditions were tough in the second race of the day, with a few boats falling over into the drink.
So first is France, then we've got Germany, and it's the Kiwis. They'll be pleased with this one. It's always good to end the day with a good race. That's a keeper.
Auckland turned on the weather for day two as the 49er FX class finally had the chance to test out on the Waitemata Harbour. Singapore were standouts after some impressive results at the conclusion of day two. It was the first race of the day, and the Polish pair dominated right from the word go.
So at the first mark, after a beautiful start, Poland leads. And a well-deserved victory as they come down towards the finish. First blood to Poland.
Next up, the Spanish duo of Suarez and Van den Velden impressed us all with a convincing win in the second race.
So at the top mark, second race, it is the right-hand side of the track that has come strong. Through come Spain to take out race two of the 49er FX.
It was race three where the Singaporean team of Lim and Low showed us why they deserve to be at the World Champs.
So good work by Belgium. They lead at Mark 2, followed by Sweden. It is real close with Cross coming up, Singapore. And they lead at Mark 3. Great performance by the Singaporean combination. Huge accolade for the young Singaporean team if they can win at this level. Coming down to the finish, it's Singapore, a come-from-behind victory.
The Netherlands managed to snag the lead at the top mark and couldn't be stopped.
So it's Netherlands in the lead, followed by France. So coming down to the finish, it is a win for Annemarie Beckering, Anita Duitz, as they take that one out, race 4. So that is the end of that. There's the leaderboard, and it is Nielsen and Henkin.
The 49ers were rearing to go for day two of the Sailing World Championships. It was the young Kiwi crew of Bacon and Gautry who made waves early on. Even after a mistake, they were still able to get the victory.
Jenica collapsed, skipper falls in the water. Right, are they actually still in first, even doing that? I think they are. So this is race 3, the 49er class, first race on day 2. And it is New Zealand take the victory just as they sneak through the Phillips combination.
The Italians charged through to get an early lead, and from then on, there was no catching them.
This race 4 for the 49ers. Our race leader, Italy, 147. So this one will be taken out by the Italian team. Hand goes up, happy with that result.
With capsizes and disqualifications, race 3 did not disappoint.
No, had to bail, couldn't do it. Canada, can they get round? Well, I've got some bad news for this crew. They're disqualified. First at the mark, it's Italy. They come round.
With an early mistake from the Italians, it was a race to finish between Great Britain and Japan.
It's going to come down. This could be a photo finish. British combination. They're coming down towards the finish. That's a come from behind victory.
Britain's Taylor and Hawes snuck over the finish line to get the win. Lastly, the Belgians showed why they are world class and cruised to a stunning final race victory.
So first, we've got Belgium. So our race leader, they've led all the way around. High fives, happy about that, happy that the day is over.
So there we go, look at that 49er leaderboard. Berlin and Chuk leading the way. Great to see. Blitzstein and Husel, they were the Oceania Championships winners, and they've had a great day out there.
Another beautiful day for Auckland for day 3 of the Sailing World Championships. Tensions were high as it was the last day for teams to qualify for Gold Fleet. First up, the 49ers took to the water, and the Spanish duo of Bertin and Lopez snagged a much-needed win for the first race of the day.
Got a beautiful start, the Spanish team. And there you go, Mara, as they come down, one jibing in. That is an impressive job. Put it down to the start.
The Spanish duo held their own once more, but it was the Swedes who pulled away from the pack to go over the finish line first.
The leading two, it'll be Sweden and New Zealand. We've got a split at the bottom mark gate. It's all to play for. Coming down to the finish, it's Sweden rolling it over the line. They took this one out easily.
The last race proved to be a challenging one for multiple teams, with crucial mistakes and breakages all round.
Well, this could be expensive for Logan Dunningbeck.
But it was the Austrians who were victorious in the end.
Well manufactured race by the Austrian combination. Great decision making, good selection, and they take out race 9.
The moment of truth. So this is our Gold Fleet for tomorrow. So we've got our Kiwis in second place. We've got the German team of Heil Plasil, they're in first. And the Austrian team that just won that race we were just watching, they're in third place overall.
Next up were the Nacra 17s, the most difficult boat to race due to its speed and size. Everything was smooth sailing for the Kiwi pair of Mackay and Saunders as they won their first race with ease.
They're going to go straight into a jibe, so they obviously like what they saw on that upwind leg. They're going to jibe straight back across.
Just come down between the committee boat and the rubber boat, and they go over to take that race win.
The following race proved to be eventful as even our cameras got in the way of the sailors.
Wow, there's plenty of action. Looks like we might have got a little bit in the way there.
But the Aussies got one over the Kiwis as Waterhouse and Darmerman took out first place. New Zealanders Mackay and Saunders dominated once again with a come-behind win over the Italian pair Brazzaro and Frescari.
And an interesting manoeuvre there from the leaders, the Italians opting to go around that opposite gate, which means it's going to open the door here for the Kiwis for a split on this upwind, and now we're going to see them come back across in front.
Yeah, the bottom mark gate's not square to the wind, so I think Brazzaro actually picked the wrong gate, and we've got a lead change. Now, New Zealand are in the lead, and comfortably in the lead, 175 metres behind. It is Brazzaro, Frescari.
And very nicely done, like you said, Peter, almost flawless there. Great decision making and an awesome win.
So New Zealand go over to take race 7. That's Olivia Mackie, Jason Saunders. Second will be Italy.
Brazzaro and Friscari bounced back in the next race to win the last race of the day.
Douse at the Spinnaker, the Janica, and they go for a bit of a soak. They're going to nip around that left-hand gate and head straight back out to the right-hand side of the course where we've seen awesome pressure.
Yeah, strong downwind leg, extended their lead a little bit.
But as they come down for the finish, that's them to win the final race of the day.
Well, a well-constructed race by the Italian team. So who's on the leaderboard? It is Gibson and Barnett, 1 point ahead of Bizzarro and Friscari in second. Nathan Outridge up to third.
On to day 4 and our first look at the Gold Fleet races. To start, it was the 49er FX and it was the Dutch.
The Netherlands, Arnholt and Janmaat are in the lead as they start to reach into the top mark. I thought they engineered that second windward beautifully. And in the first race of gold medal fleet, it is the Netherlands take first points.
Then were gifted another win when the US made a critical mistake in the final leg of race 2.
I think they've gone a little bit further than they need to. Now, has that opened up the opportunity for other boats down in that corner? I think they've made a little bit of an error here. Well, right at the end, the Americans stubbed their toe, opened the opportunity for a lead change, and it's Netherlands take it out.
In race 3, however, it was the Danish pair of Nielsen and Olsen who battled it out with the Olympic champions from Brazil.
So at Mark 3, after a really pretty well a two-tack beat, it will be Denmark in the lead. So coming down to the finish, here it is. Denmark take it out. That's Nielsen and Olsen.
So that meant that Brazil had a 9-point lead at the top, followed by the Dutch. And the Germans held third place heading into day 5. The afternoon session was reserved for the Nacra Gold Fleet races, where the Italians were the team to beat. The first race became a tussle between the Italian crews and the Spanish crew of Pacheco and Paul.
At the first mark, it's Spain leading Italy.
Looks like there's been a lead change here, Pete. That right-hand wind shift working out for the Italians. So Bizzarro and Friscari again showing good speed, but also smarts in this heavier air condition out there.
Oh, a small one. That will open up for Spain. They'll come ripping through on the inside. So they just misjudged the ley line from a long way out, the Italians. But over the line, it is Spain win. They sailed a beautiful race. And that will certainly help their aggregate score.
In race 2, it was the Australians that had the speed and the French weren't far behind.
I think Waterhouse has absolutely nailed this ley line. He's done an absolutely brilliant job around the racecourse so far to sail less distance. And these ley lines into the bottom gates have been on point. That could be the difference coming down to the finish of this final race.
A race win in the second of the finals for Jason Waterhouse. How close are they to the ley line? No, they do have to jive. This could swing it back as they come through. Here come the French. It's going to be just inches in it. Australia take it from the French.
The French continue to have a good day out on the Waitemata, but the local pair of Michael Wilkinson and Erica Dawson showed they had what it takes to compete against the best in the world.
So it'll be Wilkinson and Dawson from New Zealand. They picked the bottom mark gate perfectly. They took the lead on the second upwind. And for this young combination to take out the third race of the finals, that is massive to win a race at the World Championships.
So at the end of day 4, it was Bizzarro and Friscari on top of the Nacra 17 leaderboard, followed by the British duo of Gibson and Burnett, and the Australian crews of Waterhouse and Damerman. Day 5 was a beauty up in Auckland and the racing was just as good. First up in the morning session, we had the hometown heroes in the 49er class, Pete Berling and Blair Took. They were looking to close the gap on the Germans and take their spot atop the leaderboard. However, it was the French and their Kiwi counterparts who stole the show in race 1.
I've got the French in the lead again, comfortably. It's looking like France will take this one out. Second is close with Logan Dunningbeck, and Botin is having a crack at the New Zealanders. It's going to be close for second and third. So the first boat's over the line. Logan Dunning-Beck sneaks through to just get second, and Botin from Spain comes in third. Down come Burling and Took. We can see them coming in. 8.5 knots in 10th position. Can they have a piece of Hawkins from GBR? Are they close enough? In come Burling and Took to just snitch it on the line.
Race 2 saw the British team of Hawkins and Thomas win the race, with the Kiwis finishing 5th and Highland Plusel finishing 15th, meaning the Kiwis took the lead.
That will go down in the book. So GBR 17 take that one out. So New Zealanders pinged one back on the last downwind. They'll be happy about that. So there's the leader going in, and that's signified by the yellow shirts.
In the third race of the morning, the Kiwis made no mistakes and flew into first place.
Look at them. Look at the difference. New Zealand on a roll. Burling and Took putting on an absolute masterclass of how to do it. They're coming down towards the finish. They saw an opportunity on the downwind run. I just think today is the day that people will say, can these guys ever be beaten? NZL 77 win coming from behind.
That meant that Burling and Took had a 12-point lead atop the 49er rankings and a firm grasp on that gold medal. The afternoon session took us back to the FX class, where the battle for gold was between the Dutch and the Brazilians, and it was the Dutch that drew first blood.
It's Poland, followed by the Netherlands. It's now getting down to points time, so they go over the line. They were the world champions from 2018.
In race 2, the Americans got their first win of the finals, and the race leaders fell to 15.
And they go through to take that race victory,
while the Dutch finished in 9th, and that lead was down to 1.
First and second are both on port tack. They're slow off the line, the fleet. And the two race regatta leaders are hunting for a hole to get out of action, get out of jail. And meanwhile, on starboard are the rest of the field. Wow, threading the needle. Oh, gee. It's full on at that top mark with it's dodgem boats here at the 49er FX Worlds at the top mark, and as they head to the final leg to the bottom mark. Coming across, can they get round the bow of the red spinnaker? I think New Zealand nearly fouled out. They were forced to jibe away. So Alex Maloney got really tricked into a port starboard incident there. As they come down towards the end, it's Odile van Oudholt and Jan Matt. They'll take that race out. Next over the line, it will be Poland, Malsaka. Third, it will go to USA. So the new leader is Beckering and Dutz, 1 point ahead of Grail and Kunz, Nass and Ronigan, Lutz and Boyka in 4th.
This is it, the medal day. All 3 classes would battle it out for one last chance at the World Championships. All points were worth double and the stakes were high. The 49er class were first up and they did not disappoint.
Good start by Germany. Down to Lord of them will be Burling and Took. Great start by the Germans, and we're underway. Oh, Peter Burling's fallen. He's fallen off the side of the boat. Is the pressure getting to the New Zealanders? They rolled into attack and missed the foot straps, so that's a little error by New Zealand. So at the top mark, it's Spain in the lead, Netherlands second, and Logan Dunning-Beck looks like they might be close to third as they come round. So the other Kiwi crew are having a good one. Then Germany, then Austria. Can the New Zealanders also come through the free? So Heil, to me, is up into second. He's had an absolute blinder on the downwind. So that's the 2 leading boats. That's who we're dealing with. Botin, Heil and Plusel, Dunning-Beck and Gunn, Burling. Now, right now, if that maintains, Burling and Took have actually had a blinder on the first half of the second windward beat. Botin and Mara, they're going to take this one out. They've won the medal race. That will put them up to 4th overall for the medal race winner. Next, it is going to be Heil and Plusel. And barring a capsize, it'll put them in second place. There's Logan Dunning-Beck. Oh, lovely jibe, Dunning-Beck. He's going to snitch him on the line. So Logan Dunning-Beck goes over the line in second. And the New Zealanders just to windward. We have our world champions, Peter Burling and Blair Tuke.
What a thrilling race to kick off the finals day. Up next were the 49er FX, and the conditions made things even trickier.
Here we go, so the Dutch number one coming over to the port end, starting on port, taking some sterns, comes run around the committee boat. So it is the Netherlands starting on port and heading right for Brazil. Martine Grail, she's heading to the left. Germany in the lead. Making sure the boat's flat before they deploy the Nacra. Next, it will be GBR. It's Charlotte Dobson. As they come round again, trying to keep the boat on its feet. These boats are really flat forward, so if they nosedive like it did then, oh, problem! The race leader, just as I was talking about, it's the disaster for Lutz and Boyka. And it was what I talked about. They are very flat forward. If you nosedive and you get the timing wrong, you capsize. And it is a lead change. Netherlands are now in the lead, and Brazil have hit the mark. That will be it. It's the swan dive at the bottom mark gate. That will be the World Championship done and dusted. It's an unforced error due to the conditions at the bottom mark gate. It will be Netherlands 1. No heroics. So first over the line, it's GBR. Then we have coming through in second place in the middle. It will be... So third will go to the Netherlands. The Netherlands are the 2019 49er FX World Champions. Whoa! And now the celebratory capsize. That was deliberate.
But here are our winners, the team from the Netherlands.
So it is the Netherlands taking out the World Championships. Martina Grail and Kahinja Kunze from Brazil. Ida Nielsen and Olsen were third to make up the podium.
In the third and final race of the day and the regatta, it was down to the Nacra 17s. And if the first two races were anything to go by, this one was bound to be entertaining.
We're underway, and a beautiful start right down at the pin end, the committee boat end on port. We've got France 56, and it's a clear start. Chris, who do you fancy?
Well, at the moment, Santiago Lange down at the pin end of the start line, the Argentinian, he got off in a great start, but we've talked about the right-hand side being strong, and already we could see the Italians and the French.
So at the top mark, this is the final race. It is Tita and Banti in the lead from Italy. They come round, they're looking at the set, looking to be tidy. She's the bucking Bronco, Italy in the lead. Oh, big sideways there. The boat foiled up, lost control of the bow, managed to regain it. The Italians coming over the line. It'll be Vittorio Bassaro. There they are. 2019 Nacra World Championships. Just holding off the charging Danish team, who will take the silver medal. So here are the results. It's Bassaro and Prescari first, and they take it out by 3 points by Sinholt and Lubeck. Water and silver. Waterhouse and Darmanin take bronze.
So that took us to the end of the regatta and a great week of sailing. We leave you now with the highlights of the medal ceremony.
Kia ngā taratara ki tai. E hi aki ana te atapura, he tio, he huka, he hauhonga. Whakamaua kia tina. Tina, Homie, Huie, Taiki. Saru, welcoming, we're talking about our gods and the whare that we are all in here today, about connection of people to the moana or the Waitemata, and also to celebrate you people of the waka, you people of the boats.
I'm sure we'll all agree that it was a fairly intense and exciting
afternoon with those medal races and the breeze picking up, and heading into that final Nacra race, it was almost a case of winner takes all for the top three. In first place, and your gold medalist winners, Vittorio Visardo and Mayala Friscali from Italy. And in first place, your gold medalist winners in the 49er FX, Annemiek Becklin and Annette Geurts from the Netherlands. And in first place, your gold medalist winners of the 2019 Hyundai World Championships, Peter Berlin and Blair Tuke from New Zealand.